burden of sin is heavy for man to carry, and ever since the fall of Adam and Eve, every human has experienced that weight. The law of Moses introduced the greatness of God to this fallen people, the children of Abraham, but people had to learn that there is a price to be paid to have God at the center of your community. Proper steps had to be taken to come near to God through special priests who were appointed this task on behalf of the community. To maintain their connection to God through these special appointed ones, the people themselves had to obey an increasingly rigorous accumulation of laws, sacrifices, and offerings. So now the Jews not only suffered from the weight of their own sins, but to be unburdened from sin, they bore the weight of a rigorous law. Before the birth of Jesus, an especially religious class of people, the famous Pharisees, arose who were strict moralists by their own definition of morality, and being admired by the people for their special brand of piety, their view of morality became bound upon all the people. Authoritative moralists like to make it difficult to become one of them. They benefit by adding rules and interpretations of law, increasing the distance between themselves and others. And because the Pharisees' brand of righteousness was out of reach for the common people, they were widely admired as standout, godly men. But now the Jews bore the weight of sin, the weight of the law, and the weight of added rules and regulations from the moralists that were out of reach to simple people. And that weight was crushing. Who would even try to find favor with God under a legal code that most could not even interpret? Then along came Jesus. He scolded the Pharisees for standing between the people and God, making it difficult for them to feel accepted or even acknowledged by God. And he did so while living a life of obvious moral excellence and while teaching the people that they were valued and treasured by God. The new thing that God was doing among the Jews was taking away the difficulty of coming into a relationship with him. Ironically, Jesus raised the bar on morality while at the same time making favor with God more attainable for everyone. In Matthew chapter 11, Jesus described this new thing as his light yoke, and he invited everyone to come to him, casting off their heavy burdens and taking up his light discipline instead. Truly, the grace of God, the forgiveness of sins, was now available by drawing near, not to a priest who carried his own burden of sin, but to Jesus who would unburden all men from theirs if they would take up this discipline of peace and joy. How is it with us? Are we still under the burden of our sins? Are we trapped in a theology of rigor? Do we think that the grace of God is only for those who are good enough? Come to Jesus and unburden yourself. This is good news. This is the good news. Let's not complicate it.